Hey everyone. The last video talked about platelets and blood types and blood transfusions. And I thought I'd take a few minutes and draw some stuff out for you that normally I would put on the board to kind of explain things a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to my document cam and we're going to draw this out. You may want to grab a piece of paper and something to write with. So if you want to just pause real quickly and go get those things, and then you can come back and kind of take a few notes. So let me switch over to my document cam. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk real quickly first about the blood types. So let me come up here and write down blood types. And then the way that I usually do this now, you have to understand, and those of you who are out there in YouTube world that just like to watch teachers' videos and tell them what is not scientifically accurate, you're not going to like this. This is just a very skeleton explanation of blood types. Now, you have to understand that when I draw, these are actually chemicals, but I'm drawing it to make it a little easier for us to understand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw 4 circles. And these 4 circles are going to represent blood cells for each type of blood. So over here, I'm going to put A. This is going to be B. Then I've got AB. And then I've got O. Okay. So let's just say that I'm looking at A-type blood. And when I look at A-type blood, we have these antigens that are on the surface of the blood cell that are unique to A-type, and that's what makes it an A-type. When I draw it, I'm not drawing it as a chemical. I'm going to draw it as a squiggle. Okay? So if I was looking under the microscope, or if I was looking at the analysis of this blood cell and I saw this chemical, that would tell me, oh, I've got A-type blood. Okay? So for B, same thing, but of course it's not going to be a squiggle because this is B, so it's different. So for it, I'm going to draw these little triangles. So when I look under the microscope or look at the chemical analysis and I see this antigen, that tells me, hey, that's B-type blood, okay? So we know that A has A, B has B. So what does AB have? It has both. So it's going to have squiggles. And it's going to have a triangle. Okay. Then we have O. And O doesn't have any of it. So it's just plain Jane, like this one down here. Okay. So these are our AB blood types, ABO blood types. There was one other thing that we talked about, and that one other thing is called the RH factor. So the RH factor, if you have it, that means that it would be on your blood type, okay? So let's just say that we're going to do the RH factor as a, I don't know, let's do it as a little X. So this guy has A, he also has the RH factor, so that means that he is A positive, okay? This guy is B, but he doesn't have this little X on his, so that means he's B negative. So if I wanted to make this one AB positive, on top of having the A squiggles, the B triangles, it's also going to have the RH X's, okay? And they would be all over the surface. And then O, if it's O negative, it doesn't have anything. If it was O positive, though, it would just have the little X's because it doesn't have any other antigens. Okay? So when it's positive, that means that it has the RH. If it's negative, it doesn't have it, okay? So let's talk a little bit about what happens then if you give people blood. So if you're A blood, you can't give B blood to them because they don't have these little triangles, and so that would be a foreigner. You can't give them AB because of the triangles, but I could give them O because there are no triangles, okay? I could give them O negative because there's nothing on this one. Or I could give them O positive because there's no antigens other than the X's, and they've got the X's. So that means for this guy, he could get a donation from O negative. He could get a donation from O positive. And of course, he could get a donation from his own A negative or A positive. Okay. Let's look at AB. So could A give to AB? Yes, because they both have the squiggles. Could B give to AB? Yes, because they both have the triangles. Could A positive give? Yes, because it has the X's. Can B positive give? Yes, because it has the triangles and it has the X's. Can O negative give? Absolutely. And so can O positive because it has all of the antigens. That makes this the universal recipient. AB positive can accept blood from AB positive, AB negative, A positive, A negative, B positive, B negative, and O positive and O negative, because it has all of those antigens that it could possibly be present. And if they're not present, then it doesn't matter. So let's look at O negative and O positive. Okay, so let me come down here and redraw these a little neater. So O negative just looks like that. And then our O positive is going to look like this. Okay, so can O negative receive from A? No. Can O negative receive from B? Nope. Can O negative receive from AB? Nope. Can O negative receive from O positive? Nope. Only one time, which we'll talk about in a minute. So O negative can only receive from O negative safely every time. But O negative can give to A positive, A negative, B positive, B negative, AB positive, AB negative, O negative, and O positive. So O negative is what we know as the universal donor because it can give to everybody, but it can only receive from other O's, preferably O negatives if it's multiple blood samples or blood transfusions. So that brings us to that discussion. So let's just say that I'm O negative and I can give to everyone, but I can only accept from O's. And let's just say that I have an accident and I need blood. And one of you come immediately to my aid and they're like, I will help Miss Fortenberry, but I have O positive. So they could give me your blood one time. And what would happen is these little chemicals, these little antigens, the Rh factor on the cell surface, my body would go, okay, now I don't know you, but I'm going to let you in one time. You show up again, and we're going to take you out. So I can get blood one time from an individual with an Rh factor, but every time after that, my immune system's going to take this out, along with whatever good blood I have left, okay? So you can accept, if you're negative, you can accept from a positive, but only one time, because then you build up an immunity to it, and from that point on, your body wouldn't take it. So this becomes a problem with women who are pregnant. So let me draw my little diagram here. Okay, so here's mom. She's pregnant, very, very pregnant. Okay. And mom is Rh negative, but baby is Rh positive. That means that in this baby's blood, it has that little X that we were putting on these blood cells. So mom, in her first pregnancy, her body begins to notice this Rh positive. And the first time that she has a baby, her body does just like if you were receiving a blood transfusion. It says, okay, I don't know you, but I'm going to let you slide this time. But after this, we're going to take this out. Okay? So let's fast forward a little while later. Okay. So here's mom. Second pregnancy. Okay. Mom is still Rh negative. Baby is Rh positive. Now, the first time it was fine. Her body said, okay, I can handle this, but I'm going to remember you. So now that she's Rh positive or has an Rh positive baby a second time, her immune system is going to attack that baby. So what she has to do is she has to take a medicine that is known as Rogam, and it masks this baby's Rh. So that way her immune system does not see it, and she can give birth to a healthy baby. If not, then she could miscarry. All right, so that explains the blood transfusions with the blood types. It also looks at Rh factors in pregnancy. If you have any questions, please feel free to shoot me an email or a text, and I'll be glad to answer them for you. Thank you.